During the 1970s, 80s, and until the beginning of the 90s, deforestation represented progress for the state of Acre, at the same time that it caused a heavy impact on the environment and forest communities. In this period, a movement in defense of the forest began through the courageous resistance of rubber tappers and indigenous communities. In this peaceful resistance, the ignorance and greed of some attempted to silence the voices of Wilson Pinheiro and Chico Mendes. Two legitimate defenders of the Amazon and its inhabitants died. The social, environmental consciousness of the citizens of the forest was born, called florestania, or forest citizenship, which means to live in the forest, of the forest, and with the forest. Starting in 1999, the ideals of Chico Mendes and Wilson Pinheiro began to be incorporated in the public policies of Acre. The state of Acre, through its ecological economic zoning, Phase 1, began to understand its people, its natural resources, its economy, the situation of its lands, and its biodiversity. As a result, it became easier to design a plan for the utilization of the state's natural richness. The first steps for benefit sharing through environmental services occurred with the establishment of the Chico Mendes Law. This law provides incentives for natural rubber production and promotes the economic value of standing forests. There were additional advances, including an increase in protected areas by more than 100%, incentives for sustainable forest management, the creation of the Secretary of Forests and the State Forest Law, the creation of state forests, the creation of Chandlis Park, and the Water and Hydrological Resources Law. Despite these advances, Acre wanted more. In 2007, it concluded its Ecological Economic Zoning Phase 2, the largest and best reference for this type of zoning in Brazil. At this point, the policy for valuation of forest assets was instituted, which creates important programs to value standing forests. At the same time, Acre elaborated its plan for the prevention and control of deforestation. The plan, PPCD Acre, seeks to develop a clean, fair, and competitive economy with a strong forest base. PPCD Acre envisioned the setting of a policy of incentives for environmental services related to carbon. This policy is based on principles and objectives established internationally for strengthening market values for standing forests and for the preservation of diverse environmental services and products. The program proposal received very positive feedback in the meetings of the Governors for Climate and Forests in California, in the United States, in Aceh, Indonesia, and in Santarém, Brazil, as well as at the UN Climate Conference in Copenhagen, Denmark, the COP15 in 2009. Today, the policy of incentives for environmental services is a reality, constructed by civil society, the industrial sector, indigenous people, rural producers and extractive communities, cattle ranchers, national and international partners, the Legislative Assembly of Acre, and the state government. In this way, Acre advances in the conservation, protection, and economic valuation of standing forests, contributes to reducing emission of greenhouse gases through avoided deforestation and degradation, promotes reforestation, and values hydrological resources, traditional knowledge of forest communities, scenic beauty, climate regulation, and conservation of soils. Acre makes possible benefit sharing with forest peoples and with all those who conserve, preserve, recuperate, or utilize natural resources sustainably. In this way, we seek to consolidate sustainable development through a low-carbon economy combined with high social inclusion and empowerment. What the planet dreams, Acre makes real.